Welcome back to the Boxing Show. Time now to hear from the man in the corner on that special night 15 years ago. Ricky's trainer, Billy the Preacher Graham. Well, Matt Macklin caught up with him earlier on this week.
I can feel it now. You know what I mean? I can feel it now. I remember it exactly. I tell you, I remember we stood there. I forgot to put my badge on. The same thing happened with the Mayweather fight when I was with you walking to the Mayweather fight. I forgot to put my badge on because I'd been warming Ricky up on the pads. And this official said to me, he said to me, I'm stood next to Kerry Case, and he said this to me. He said, do you know what? I should officially stop you from walking into the ring now because you forgot your badge. Well, I can't say what I said to him really, but
in the nicest possible way, you told him to jog on.
In the most horrible possible way, I told him to jog on.
So then, you know, the fight goes, the first few rounds, which you were nervous about, they're kind of out of the way now. You're coming into that middle part of the fight. Can you remember what you were saying to Ricky in between the rounds at that time?
Me and Ricky in the corner, me and Ricky in the gym. Oh, we know each other. He can read me. He can read me as good as I can read him. Do you know what I mean? And everything's prepared. We talked about every possible, you know, outcome, every possible thing what could have happened in the fight. If this happens, do this. If this happens, do that. But the first 4 rounds was really nerve-wracking. But Ricky, as usual, he was right up for it. You know what I mean?
It's been a grueler. They're both knackered. It's going to be close on the cards. You know, when then you realise the fight had been stopped and it's over and you've won, and Ricky Hatton is the new #1 man in the division. Take us back to how you felt.
I just looked round to check to see if there's any like distress in the corner or something like that. You know what I mean? I just turned round and I seen Dave Palace just wave it off. I looked at Ricky. I just said, it's over.
And that's why we do it.
You've done it. Look at Billy Graham. Great credit to him as well. What a job he's done with Ricky Hatton. This is a night that they will never forget in Manchester.
We all got drunk and everything, and I remember I pulled up in my town in Mosley, and there's a shop called Rajar's, and because the shops was open by then, you know what I mean, it opens early, you know, and I went in the shop and I come out and there's people clapping.
Well, that's made the hair stand up on the back of my neck, Ricky. Billy, so emotional in that VT, wasn't he? How does that make you feel?
The same, to be honest. I can't. Sometimes I can't watch it without crying myself. And because me and Billy we were best mates. He wasn't just my trainer. He was best mates, and we talked about that day for so long, and not just, you know, winning a world title, you know, fighting the elite of fighters. I mean, Kostya Tszyu was the pound for pound best, wasn't he? You know what I mean? It wasn't just the world championship we wanted to win. We wanted to be the best, the elite, fight the best in the elite, and that was, you know, just accumulation of so many hard works of having to listen to people say, no, he's exciting, but he gets cut. He's exciting, but his defence isn't the best. And it was like a big, polite 2 fingers up to everyone that had said, you can't do it. Because, you know, they were questioning my word and questioning Billy's word as a trainer, if you're thinking it from that point of view. And it was just like, you know, and it said that it would go down as one of the best wins ever in a British ring. And those are the fights that me and Billy talked about for 16 years of age, sat on that step at the gym in Salford, about the fights we were going to be involved in and the people we were going to beat. And that was it. that was it. It was like we did it, you know what I mean? And I know there was fights on there on in after, you know, further down the line, but that was it. Done, cemented. We done the job, and it was still 15 years on, still very, very emotional to watch. Brilliant.
Totally understandable, Ricky. I'm going to bring in someone that you and Billy Graham know very well, our very own Matt Macklin. Matt, let's just talk about that special partnership between Ricky and Billy. They just seem to know each other so well. They could read each other so well.
Yeah, they were completely in sync. They just really, you know, we talk about great trainers, and we always say, you know, certain trainers suit certain certain fighters, and not just his style of fighting, but his personality. They really suited. As he said, they were best mates, and you know, Ricky training with Billy from 16 years of age, really had that chance to kind of mold him like putty, almost to mold his style and to envisage where he was going to be and what kind of a fighter he would be when he, you know, reached his peak. And I really think that night against Kostya Tszyu, that was just the perfect night for both of them. I mean, Ricky, that was his finest hour, in my opinion. But tactically, technically, style-wise, Billy Graham, as a trainer, as a coach, he was made for Ricky Hatton, and Ricky Hatton was made for Billy Graham.
Absolutely. Ricky, just talk us through the tactics on the night, because you executed the game plan perfectly.
Yeah, Billy's not going to be too happy with me knocking him on his ass there, is he? But no, you know, we had this unique bond, me and Billy. Is like, you know, whenever a fight was mentioned or an opponent was mentioned or the fight was made, you know, I knew what he was thinking before, and he knew what I was thinking, and we both knew straight away. I just said, yeah, and this, and he said, yeah, and this, and that, and it was unbelievable. And the tactics were absolutely bang on for the Kostya Tszyu fight. You know, make a fast start, you know, because obviously he's the older man, and because he's been knocking everybody out so quickly. Make a fast start because he's not had plenty of rounds under his belt. But, you know, to stay safe as well, make a fast start, but try and stay safe and not take any chances. Because we made a fast start, so Kostya himself, after 2 rounds, knew he had to raise the tempo in order to stay with me, to stay with my work rate and my pace, which was really what we wanted to do. And he set into like a little bit of a rhythm, rounds 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, where he was putting rounds in the bank. And I felt in the corner that the fight was running away with me a little bit, that he was banking too many rounds. And I said to Billy, I said, these rounds are slipping away here. He said, but keep working on him, keep working on him. Eventually, you know, he'll break, you know what I mean? Eventually he'll hit a brick wall. And Billy used to say to me each round, how does he feel? And I say, he still feels strong. And then rounds 5, 6, how does he feel? I say, a little bit less, Billy, a little bit less. Rounds 8, round now, how does he feel now? He feels weak as a kitten now, Bill. Well, now's the time to jump on him, Ricky. And that's what I did. And it was hard, but I knew that was my chance. When he started feeling a little bit weak in the clinches, rounds 8 and 9, this was the game plan we worked on. This was the chance that I knew I had to get. I knew I could be a few rounds behind, but once he starts to dwindle, that's when I knew I had to put my foot on the gas and take advantage of it. And thankfully, that's what I was able to do.
It was such a grueling fight, though, Ricky. Where did you find that extra gear?
Well, I knew I might have to dig deep because I was in the corner and I was shaking my head and spat my gum shield on the floor. And I said, I've got nothing left. And Billy was saying, come on, Billy, Rick, don't you give me that rubbish. You know, this is the time. This is the fight we've worked for. We said that we were going to do it. This is the time. And now if you don't take advantage of this fight, because he's gone now, you've got him. If you don't take advantage of this, you'll never forgive yourself. He said, don't be crying about it in 15 years' time when you're fat and old, which is pretty much what I am now. Don't be sat there on your couch moaning and whinging about it when you can do something about it now. And I went, you come on, show the champion you are. And that's what I did. And I mean, I wasn't far behind Kostya. But because I knew that was my moment, even if he had to quit on his stool and he had to go out there for another round, I'd still find that extra. And, you know, I think that's what the good champions do. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Can you remember the moment when Billy said the fight's over?
the fight's over, and I thought, thank God for that, and I jumped up and I hugged him, and you could see I just collapsed on me back. I didn't have the strength to even celebrate, and Billy's picking me up as if to say, get up here, come here. And I went, no, I haven't got the strength, he was just emotional, and I started crying, and I don't think we've stopped crying since. And it was like, you couldn't have written, I mean, if I'd have got him with one of my trademark left hooks to the body, or I'd have hit him with a left hook to the head, and I'd have gone out, he'd have gone down, I'd have knocked him out cold. It couldn't have, and it wouldn't have been as good an ending as it was on the night. Having such a formidable champion on his stool say, no more, please leave me alone, I've had enough. And then to do it in my home crowd of Manchester with the support behind me, like we had. And then if you remember, after the fight, I got the microphone, congratulated Kostya on what a great champion he was, and he got the mic and said, Ricky was the better man, if you need any help in the future, Ricky, I'll always be there for you. It's end of the rainbow, fairy tale tackle. Do you know what I mean? You couldn't write that. You couldn't write it. If you said to me, how could you want this fight to end? Him saying, leave me alone, no more, in Manchester, quitting on his stool, and us showing such wonderful sportsmanship after. That's what this game is all about for me.
You became a British boxing great that night, didn't you? Just how much did that night change your life?
It changed my life, massive. I don't think I've changed. I'm still the little Manchester scallywag I've always been. But it did change my life. And I think what the unique thing was from that, they called that my Mount Everest. Do you know what I mean? And, yeah. Once you've reached Mount Everest and that was your pinnacle, what you've done, how are you going to go on from here? And, I ended up winning 4 world titles in 2 weight divisions and fighting the likes of Mayweather and Pacquiao and Malignaggi, Castillo, became a 2-weight champion, you know what I mean? It's, so even though that was my rainbow, I climbed Everest a few more times after that as well. And I think I'd have done better against Mayweather and Pacquiao if I hadn't have been such burnt the candle at both ends, because Kerry Kays and Billy always said to me, one day you kept getting away with it, but one day your lifestyle will catch up with you. And I think when it comes to them 2 fights, I think it had caught up to me. But that night against Kostya Tszyu, with a referee that when he was at a distance, let the fight flow. When he was close, let the fight flow. I think I'd have beat anyone that night, including Floyd. And people say, I'm not saying I'm a better fighter at Floyd, but I think if the right tactics on the right night at the right time, even the best can beat. And I think if I fought him that night, I think I might have beat him. But who do you know?
Well, do you know what, Ricky? It's much more to come from you. You stay with us for the rest of the programme. More to come from you after the break. The phone just rang, so you might want to pick that one up. Also, we're going to be hearing from Frank Warren as well after the break. Stay with us.
There are